republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, fine. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. At this time, I'd like a motion to move dockets 1-336 through 1-339.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. We'll move on to report of committees. Trying to see who's out here in the audience. I see Ms. Thomas, PTA. Do you have a report? If you'd like to unmute yourself. Although I think Vince has to do his little trick so you can unmute yourself. I think you should be okay now. Okay, try now, Michelle. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Good evening. PTA has a lot of exciting fundraisers upcoming, including our Cinco de Mayo themed social, and that's on May 5th at the Stewart Manor Country Club. Tickets are available now, and if you buy tickets to the social before April 29th, you'll receive a full sheet of raffle tickets for free, and that's 26 free raffle tickets. We also have a spring plant sale coming, so be on the lookout for flyers to come home. That'll probably come after the break. Sixth Grade Fun Day Committee has a movie fundraiser going. $20 will get you a ticket to see The Secrets of Dumbledore and a popcorn soda combo. The movie takes place at Malvern Cinema on Friday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. and they will have raffles available. The deadline to order sixth grade yearbooks online has been extended to April 15th. If you have not ordered your child's yearbook yet, please do so by this Friday. Only those students that order now will receive a yearbook in June. Staff appreciation is coming up. Chairpersons will be calling their committee soon. And our next meeting is Monday, April 25th at 7:30 in the George Washington cafeteria. Enjoy your break and hope to see you at our next meeting.
Michelle, can we turn in our money for the social at that PTA meeting, or do you need us to get it to you sooner?
The PTA meeting is fine.
Okay. For those of you that are planning to join. PTSA, Mrs. Merle or Mrs. Andre, I see you both here. I don't know who's going to speak. Don't both talk at once.
I will talk. Hello. Thank you to everyone who came to our PTA social, our PTSA social last week. It was a good time had by all who attended. Our next meeting is tomorrow, April 13th, in the video conference room, or April. Yeah, the 13th. Please try and attend. It starts at 7:30. Kathy's saying she can't hear anything. That's why she didn't jump on, just to let you know. We are looking for people to join the PTSA board next year. So if you are interested, please reach out to anyone on the board or send an email to the PTSA email, and please try to get involved. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.
When do you need nominations by, Emily?
Definitely by May 1st.
Same.
I was just going to
PTA
say
needs nominations as well.
Okay, so PTA and PTSA nominations are both due by May 1st.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sooner than that if possible.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't see a SEPTA representative on the website right now. We can come back if I see one pop up. All right, so I'm going to move on to the student representative. So Catherine Andre.
Hi, I'm Katie Andre. I'm president of the Student Council. Student Council would like to thank everyone who helped with our Dress for Success clothing drive. With the generous donations, we were able to donate over 20 bags filled with women's professional attire. Yearbooks are currently $103, and we're running low, so please reserve yours as soon as possible. The members of the E&L Club will be making Easter baskets stuffed with traditional American candies. The event is aimed to expose our new arrivals to some fun and delicious American traditions. For high school sports, please come and support the girls' flag football team this Thursday out on the turf at 5 p.m. Come support the high school track team. The girls will be hosting their home track meet on April 25th, and the boys will be having theirs on April 26th. Both will begin at 5 p.m. We are happy to announce that we will be having our in-person athletic words dinner this year. The girls' dinner is on June 8th, and the boys is on June 9th. Both dinners will be at the Pladoich Restaurant in Franklin Square and will cost $45 per person. The last day to pay for them will be May 18th. And middle school sports, this have begun, but most teams will have their games once break comes to an end.
That's all. And to pay for the athletic awards dinners, it's cash, correct?
Yes.
To Mr.
So
Mistretta.
Mr. Mistretta.
Okay. Thank you very much. You can go to study now if you have homework to do. And I don't have $5 to give you from Melissa. I don't know why she asked me to, but I don't have it.
Because I brought her coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you much for that, Courtney.
It was like weird too.
Um,
Have a nice night.
Thank you.
Good luck
Be
Thursday.
careful driving home.
Thank you. I will.
Make sure you run in the right direction.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to our superintendent's report. Mr. Raymond?
Do that.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Happy Passover and Easter for all those celebrating. Days. Speaking of that, we have school this Thursday. I am definitely, one of the favorite people on the planet this week. And Ms. Graves, like to point out, in Baldwin, they don't have school on Thursday. And West Hempstead, we do. Well, that's why we produce the students that we do. To spend a little more time learning.
Fight words.
Just gonna put that out there. So the 3 through 8 assessments have been completed for ELA, and the math assessments will take place after the break on April 26th and 27th. We are happy to report that we are bringing back Family Literacy Night on April 28th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. High school. My understanding is from Mr. Matador and others that there will be a book swap. Think about airplanes coming by to drop them off. I'm not really sure, but Mr. Matador will have some more information about that. In a few minutes, Mr. Press will be discussing the budget vote as it is right around the corner. And I am pleased that we have presented a budget that is within the tax cap and maintains staff and programs. You may be familiar with the fact that this past weekend, school aid runs have become available, and there's been some slight adjustments, but nothing significant for us with regards to the original state aid. But
Just open your Your
I'll
mic.
take some salsa with those. But important news on the UPK front or the preschool front, we did see a significant increase, almost little over $280,000 for UPK. So we are happy to report that we will be able to fund all of our seats that we have available in Chestnut Street. And I just want to be perfectly clear, that is a line, the special line that Mr. Press will explain later, much in the detail. But that money is exclusively for pre-K and pre-K only. So we're very excited about that. As you may be aware, we have one classroom that opened on February 1st, I believe, or January 31st. And they are off to a flying start. With us this evening, we have Mr. Jesse Rosner, as well as Yona and Joseph Lalazari. And I want to congratulate them as they have been recognized as official Kid Oyo student mentors. And with them tonight is excellent Stella teacher out of George Washington Intermediate Building, Miss Dara Perlo. Just so you know, Kid Oyo, it's going to be a minute, just hang on there. Kid Oyo is about, you didn't expect me to be brief, did you? Right, so just sit back. Kid Oyo is all about student-centered, student-driven, student-owned learning. Oyo meaning own your own. As a feature of this work, our students here this evening produced opportunities for other students throughout Nassau County on a scale that's really pretty amazing. This is just a brief description. Notice I said brief. Code Long Island was the first ever community. It was home to our first student mentor opportunity, whereby our students produced demonstration projects showing skills they possess to produce learning content for other students. After their demonstration was approved, students began creating a course covering how their demonstration project was built for other students to learn how to do. Proper grammar and spelling, Rome, I did that for you, as well as the ability to explain coding concepts rather than just providing copy-paste code to others is a requirement. When it was approved, students were given the ability to create a challenge and a badge to support their course. If you're not familiar with Kid Oyo, they do receive badges as they accomplish different milestones. When it was finally approved and it was granted, all the learning resources were published to the Code Long Island community for all to enjoy. So I just want to congratulate Yona, Joseph, and Jesse, and if you guys would come down, Ms. Perlo. And Ms. Perlo would like to come down and give you some T-shirts. I think they say hackathon or something. And I will play the role of Steve Orlando this evening. You guys are allowed to be in pictures and post on the websites and all that?
Yeah.
Mom, Dad?
Yes.
If you want to come down and get a better picture than some from behind, that'd be great. You know what? Why don't
This
you
way.
guys, yeah.
Sorry, Lauren.
Stay right there, gentlemen.
Let's stand behind them. How's that? We'll stand behind them.
Mom, come on.
You don't want to photo?
Perfect, Jesse. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. There's gonna be a bunch, so just hang on, because Mom's got to get in there. Get them. 1, 2. Dad, just scoot your head a little. Yep, perfect. Mrs. Brome, same for you, to your left. Yep, perfect. One more and I'll get out of the way. All right, stay there for your mom.
Come on down.
Go ahead, you can come down.
Yeah, come all the way down.
Oh, go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. One second.
Come back.
These shirts are only given to student mentors from Kid Oyo, and it has a binary code message on the back. I don't know what it said, because it's too many numbers.
I'm guessing it's something along the lines of thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Great job, guys. If you want to go, now's the time. Just
Yeah,
say,
I was gonna say, well, I know I just sent them back to their seats. If they have homework to do or studying and you'd like to
go.
take them home, feel free. Thank you very much.
Otherwise, Mrs. Bro makes you stay for the entire meeting.
You're just upset we make you stay for the whole.
I think we established that a long time ago. Good night, everybody. Be well.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy. Congratulations.
Congratulations again.
Wonderful job.
See you, Jess. I am waiting for the dramatic this time. This is big news. Last but not least, it is big news. Steve, don't ruin it, Mama. We had recently applied for the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. The purpose of this grant is to provide opportunities for communities to establish or expand activities in community learning centers that provide opportunities for academic enrichment, including tutorial service to help students It offers a broad array of additional services, programs, and activities such as service learning, nutrition and health education, the arts, music, physical fitness and wellness programs, technology, and so on and so forth. Also, it offers families of students served by community learning centers the opportunity for active and meaningful engagement in their child's education, including opportunities for literacy and related education development. I don't know who named the title of the application, but it's called RAM Pathways. The amount of the grant is $840,000 a year for the next 5 years. And drum roll, please, Joel. Today, we found out that the New York State Education Department was pleased to inform us that we have been tentatively awarded an annual grant in the amount of $840,000. I would like to personally thank Ms. Dina Riley, Mr. Bill Press, along with Dr. Lisa Minicozy, Dr. Devin Thornburg, and everyone else in our community, because it was a team effort to write that grant, and we've had our fingers and toes crossed for quite some time, and also announcing my retirement.
Yeah, that one was a big one.
And we will be posting, just so you know, because we're looking for someone who wants to work, someone who wants to learn. We're going to be posting someone who's going to run this program. I believe the salary is either $50,000 or $60,000 in that neighborhood a year for the next 5 years, because it's a big project. It's a big undertaking. It includes the entire community, not just the school community. And we're looking to really, lift all boats here and do some great work with this. So very exciting time. And one last thing, I just want to say this: without the support of the Board of Education, and this board's been together for quite some time now, this kind of work doesn't get done. You need people to support public education and support the community all together. We have many students, school-age students, who live in this community, and we're proud to work with them all. And this is just another opportunity for us to do that. So I want to thank all of you for your support, and you two especially, because we know how much time, well, I know how much time you spent in putting this together. There was a few Sunday mornings with tea and coffee, and so I don't know.
Not brief.
No, I'm not going to be brief, and this is a big thing. And
Gotta seek freedom.
of all the 14 years, other than being the principal for Kurt Rockensees, this is a big moment. Thank you all. And, Mrs. Brown, back to you.
Yeah. We did have this conversation the other day that I announced it on the board for somebody who I signed their diploma, so it's a little scary, right? Anyway. No, we're gonna go to Mr. Press now, correct?
Yes, we'll turn the show over to Mr. Press.
We're skipping you, Joel.
That's fine.
So at this time, we're gonna have, Mr. Press just get up and speak a little bit more regarding the budget and what's going on, and the monies or lack thereof that we did not get over the weekend when they finalized the state budget.
Okay, thank you for having me back again to present to you the budget for adoption this evening. And I'm done. Thank you very much.
You love this.
We're going to just present to you the budget. Nothing has really changed. We were waiting word from the state to see if anything at the state level had changed in terms of our state aid. The state aid that supports our general fund budget, this is the general fund budget that we're presenting, that did not really change. The one addition that we'll talk about in a little bit is the UPK. So I'm just going to get right into it. Try to get this done in 12 minutes. All right, so our total proposed budget is just about $71.4 million. It's just about $2.5 million increased budget to budget from the prior year, which is 3.61%. And it is supported in part by our tax levy increase to 2.14%, which is within the district's tax levy cap, which means it only requires a majority of the voters for the budget to pass. I do want to point out that in the 2021 2020-2021 school year, as we remember, we went out with a 0% levy increase. So over the 3 years leading into next year, the average increase in the tax levy has been below 1.5%, just below. These are our projected revenues for the budget next year. Our two top revenue sources, state aid and the property tax levy. Our state aid, we're budgeting an increase of about $1.2 million. Again, that includes the increase in foundation aid that we have been awarded from the state. And property tax levy, again, $8 million, that represents the 2.1%. In terms of the state aid, again, the UPK money is not represented here. The UPK money actually it flows through a different fund. So this is, as I mentioned, general fund monies. The UPK money, because it's targeted specifically and only for UPK, it actually flows through our special aid fund. And so that's the community votes on the general fund budget. The community does not vote on the special aid fund budget. So that's why we don't see any changes here from anything that had been presented previously. In terms of the other revenue here, most of it's remaining flat, slight increase in tuition from other districts, which is largely our foster tuition that we receive from other districts. Some decreases, our interest income, we decreased that just based on the fact that the interest rates currently anyway are incredibly low. So we're bringing that number more in line with actual reality. We are hoping that interest rates do rise. Unfortunate, I guess, for the economy itself, with inflation, the Fed raising interest rates, we're expecting that to rise. And we all are also exploring other opportunities to increase our interest income. We're actually meeting with an organization tomorrow that specializes in this area. Otherwise, most of the other lines are flat. We're budgeting a slight increase in the ERS reserve, the use of those reserve funds to bring that more in line with the actual expense. In terms of our expenditures, these are the high-level expenditures broken out generally into functional areas. As you'll see from the numbers, the largest increases are in the areas of transportation and a couple of those benefit lines. And speaking of that, so our increase in our retirement system payments, we're looking at an increased budgeted increase of almost $300,000. That is due largely in part to an increase in the mandated contribution to the teachers' retirement system that went up effectively 10% for us going into next year. Medical insurance premiums, as I'm sure everyone in the outside of the school community is aware, they're increasing. Our premiums shot up for the calendar year 2022 by on average 12% for our active employees. So we are budgeting that increase as well as another increase, estimated increase for the 2023 calendar year in there as well. And then transportation, which has been something that has been a big focus of mine, particularly recently. We saw an increase of over $1 million in actual expense in 2021. We're budgeted an increase of $1 million for this year, and it looks like we may exceed that. Fortunately, we've got a budgeted increase of $850,000 for next year. Some of this is due to inflation. Our contracts with the bus companies can renew every year. When they do, they renew at the rate of inflation. And right now, the projection for inflation is in the range of 5%. There's different measures of inflation that you may see in the news. The thing you see in the news is a little different than the CPI rate that is used for buses. So, but we're seeing large increases there. And I've had conversations with Nancy BOCES, within our quadrant, with other school districts. We're trying to find efficiencies and cost savings there. In terms of personnel additions, because of the expansion that we're expecting for our UPK, we need to hire an additional custodian at Chestnut Street just to help keep those spaces clean and safe for the children. Speaking of facilities, just wanted to list a few of the things that we have going on. Some of these are ongoing. Our Smart Schools Bond projects continue. This is a security focus projects. New security cameras, new electronic door locks, wireless door locks throughout the district. Those door locks actually were almost complete with the installation of all those door locks. As part of our federal stimulus, we're looking to replace unit ventilators in our secondary plant. In terms of projects funded from previous year's budgets, we have the exterior wall at the high school that we're looking to repair and also to renovate the high school kitchen. So again, in our continuing effort to increase the security throughout the district and the spaces, enhance the spaces to, in effect, enhance the student learning. Speaking of which, just wanted to give you an update on the bond project. So this is our new high school media center, complete and in full use by our students. Great new learning space that students are taking full advantage of and love. Our fax room at the high school also renovated. The little theater at the high school renovated to its former glory, or actually maybe even beyond. Beyond former glory. Okay, I didn't remember. I wasn't here from before. So, and we've got ADA accessible ramp at the high school to make that front entrance accessible to community members that may have to go. 4 of our 5 buildings had their parking lots redone in various ways. The middle school lot was done right down to the foundation, with the inclusion of new drainage as well. So our pre-K center, almost complete. We're still dealing with some issues within one of the classrooms, with some structural issues that will be resolved by the end of the summer. So we can open all the classrooms. The middle school gym addition is moving along quite nicely. Actually, that picture at the bottom right, I think might be different than the one from the presentation I sent home last week, because the progress is moving so fast. Actually, that picture's out of date because now we have bleachers and all things. So that's supposed to be turned over to us the first week of May, just budget vote on the 17th. Our kitchens at GW and Cornwell have been renovated from floor to ceiling, including the equipment. And our auditorium is nearly completed. We're just trying to work out some issues with some of the planned lighting that we want to install there. That should be done hopefully soon. Yeah. If anyone knows about arbors, during our conversation, I've learned a lot about arbors this year, more than I probably ever thought I needed to know one. Playgrounds, as we said, done and in full use. The kids are loving them. The excitement level is
Literally through the roof.
Through the roof. Yeah, actually, just on the way over, I saw some kids playing over at Chestnut Street. So we, talk about all this stuff. We're really to make the point that we are creating spaces both indoor and out for the students to enhance their learning and their learning opportunities. And this is all supported by the budgets in one form or another. We also continue to provide new initiatives for the students to enhance their learning, to give them opportunities for growth and career exploration. We talked about these previously. I won't go into any detail again unless anyone has questions about any of them. Again, we continue to look forward to the future to provide students with opportunities to earn more college credits. We'll be rolling out the DED standards and providing, expanding our research program, the award-winning research programs that we have. We continue with our partnerships with the community, both locally and nationally, to partner up with organizations that can help provide our students with opportunities for, again, additional learning growth. And exposure to career opportunities and career paths that they may not otherwise be familiar with. In this as well, we continue our work with the Diversity Fair, BOCES, to help diversify our staff in the district. Again, all of this stuff now, new programs, facilities, really to allow our students to grow, to thrive, and to realize their potential, and to become recognized for those efforts through some of these student achievements that are listed here. We talked about previously, so some students tonight, I think are mentioned out here as well. And these achievements and this recognition span, again, from academics to arts to music and to athletics. So it runs the full spectrum. It's the second slide of awards, and I'm sure there's stuff on here that's missing. It's just a small sampling of the achievements that our students are being recognized.
Today we had some artwork on the extra museum for display.
Yeah, great stuff. So that is the presentation. The next public presentation of the budget will be at the budget hearing, which is required by law, 2 weeks before the budget vote, so that'll be May 3rd. And then the budget vote itself, May 17th, at the middle school gym from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. This is the agenda. And with that, I will open for any questions that you have.
Anybody have questions? We're good.
Just doing some very quick math, if I'm understanding correctly, of the just under 2.5 million increase, approximately 75% of that are things we are required by law to do. Is my understanding that correctly?
Yeah, if you count, I mean, the transportation, we are required by law, the other stuff as well.
Yeah.
The transportation, we have a little bit more wiggle room if we can find
If we could find it, right?
efficiencies and things like that. It becomes challenging in that area because we send kids to so many different schools. The increase is largely for out of district. And because we send to so many different schools and they all start around the same time, it's hard to find efficiencies there within our route. So we try to reach out and partner with surrounding districts so we can share those routes and recognize some efficiencies that way. So we reached out to Garden City. They have their own buses. We're trying to see if we can, if some of their kids go to the same schools, we'll try to share a bus there. Some other districts as well. And then we do a bid with Southwest Quadrant districts that may be going to the same place. So I spoke with Long Beach. They have their own buses. We try to see if we can find some shared routes there as well. It's challenging. It's challenging.
And just because, I think we talked about it before, but our own buses would actually be more expensive because there's staffing problem, we have to deal with staffing issues and insurance, and it's actually more expensive to have our own buses. Maintenance.
It's something that at this point,
It might be worth it.
we're gonna look into. Our district treasurer and I had spoken about that. He's very interested in this area and trying to see at this point that the conversation in the past has always been, it's more efficient, cost efficient to farm this out because you don't have salaries and benefits and things like that. But the cost of some of these routes is at the point now where I think it's worth at least looking at. And it still may not make sense, but I think it's at least worth a preliminary investigation.
Yeah, see what we might be able to do.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Just a quick question. How many schools do we transport to roughly?
Out of district, right now it's approaching 120.
120?
Yeah.
How many routes is that?
Changed. It was over 100 routes. I don't recall. I remember from last year saying that things shift a little during the year every year, and we're not going to some schools next year that we were going to this year. But it's a lot of different routes. We're trying to actually condense those routes where we can. Just in some cases we send multiple vehicles to the same school, but it becomes a little more challenging to put them on large buses because it's hard for them to get onto the parkways. What I did learn this year is that some of those big buses actually can go on the Belt Parkway and the Van Wyck, but not all of the Belt Parkway, so they have to kind of get into the Belt Parkway.
You can get through the whole Belt Parkway.
But then, and that lengthens the route. Some of those routes where we're sending 4 vans, we try to look and see, can we do it on 2 buses? Route gets incredibly long at that.
But there's still 120 schools.
Right. Yeah.
Just to speak to what Gabi was saying about the percentages, a lot of that is transportation, but it also includes health and TRS, correct? Is mostly our large increases this year.
Yeah. It's the TRS, it's the medical insurance and transportation. Those are our 3 bars.
Yeah, that's slide 3 or 4, whatever.
Yeah.
It's got those 3 big numbers.
Does anybody else from the board have a question on this? Okay, so, thank you.
Sure.
I'm sure you'll get a question from the audience in a minute. So at this point, we've reached the period for district residents, Island Park residents, and/or employees of the district to address the board. This individual will be limited to 3 minutes of non-confidential agenda items with an overall maximum of 20 minutes for this part of the meeting if needed. If you're virtual and you have a question, please raise your hand virtually, obviously, not literally. If you're here in the audience and you have a question, please raise your hands. All right, so we have no questions from the audience, whether here or virtual at this time. So we're going to move on. There will be a period at the end for district residents to also ask questions. At this time, I need a motion to move docket 1-340.
So moved.
Second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Yes.
So first, I'd like to start with the retirement. I don't know if Ms. Layburn is in the virtual audience, but Ms. Ellen Layburn has been an art teacher here at the high school. She joined the district back in April of 2 years ago. And she still looks like the day when she arrived. She's about 22 years old. Actually, when I was principal, I had the opportunity to meet her family, and they are quite wonderful. They are also Rams, except they went to Clark, so we'll forgive them for that. But she was quite creative, made good use of the kiln, and the reason why I bring that up, because of course, when I was principal, it was broken, and it took us a while to figure out, mostly because I don't know anything about art, and I had a hard time trying to fix it, and Bill wasn't around to fix it at that time, so. But she made some wonderful life-size chess pieces at one point with the students that we used in a tournament in the gym. And she just had amazing creative talent, and she will be missed. And so we wish her all the best in her future endeavors, and congratulations to Ms. Layburn. With us this evening is Christine Walsh. She moved over, good enough. Pillow there. Ms. Walsh being recommended to fill the new E&L position at Cornwall Avenue School. Ms. Walsh earned her bachelor's degree from SUNY Westbury and her master's degree from Truro College. Ms. Walsh has held various leave replacement positions in New York City as well as in Long Beach. In addition, she has taught in Indonesia, Tanzania, Thailand, Belize. She's being recommended for this position by Dr. DiGregorio, Ms. Anito, Ms. Riley, me. When Ms. Riley and I had an opportunity to speak with her at length yesterday, we learned a lot about her, but also her depth of knowledge and her ability to provide the right instructional strategy at the right time to support students. So we're looking forward to seeing how she implements that with our students. But for me, I think she likes good coffee, and for Ms. Riley, she likes Google.
You like binders and spreadsheets, that's all that matters.
But she likes Georgia's coffee. So, so congratulations to Ms. Walsh, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
You don't. No, there's something else. Yes. At this, I meant with that specific one.
Yes.
Are you finished with that one?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I need a motion to move docket 1-340.5. So moved.
Second.
Any questions other than the 0.5?
That was the first.
That was a first for me. 10 years, I don't think I've ever seen a 0.5. Do we have any questions? Oh. No. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. I need a motion to move docket 1-341.
So moved.
Second. Any questions?
Wait for my now.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Your turn.
Okay. In the audience with us this evening is Ms. Helen Papin-Agnostu, who is a teaching assistant at the Cornwall Avenue School for the past 4 years. She presently is in the 12-on-1 program and works closely with our classroom teacher there to ensure she supports not only the instruction, but the individual needs of our students. She's a valued member of the special education department and is an outstanding educator and advocate for children and a model of support for her colleagues. She's been recommended for tenure by Ms. Anito, Ms. Karras, and me. I had the opportunity to see her work in the class the other day, both in a whole group and individual setting, and I can say I was nothing short of impressed with her care and her understanding of the students in front of her. We also had the opportunity, as I do with all staff who are about to come tenured to have a conversation about things we'd like to see improved in our district, as well as things that are going well. And she made some excellent suggestions that are going to change the face of how we learn as adults in this district next year and in the future. So it is important that all voices are heard, and Helen's is an outstanding one to listen to. So with that being said, congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to move dockets 1-342 through 1-346.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And a motion to move dockets 1-347 through 1-352.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. I need a motion to move dockets 1-353 through 1-359.
So move.
Second.
Andrew got it? Any questions on these dockets? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. We have no old business, so new business. I need. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, sorry, disregard my question. I need a motion to move dockets 1-360 through 1-364.
So moved.
You just said that.
I
Oh,
just-
Kurt.
Oh, Kurt, say, I was
Very quietly, but
I know.
Kurt moved it.
Teresa's looking right at me.
So you're having your own conversation.
Okay, so Pat seconded. Any questions?
No.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. For privilege of the floor, I just want to speak for 1 second, on my own behalf and on behalf of the board sitting here. I want to thank, Central Administration, Mr. Reaman, Mr. Press, and Ms. Riley for all the work that they did to secure that grant for us, along with Dr. Minicozy and Dr. Thornburg from Adelphi. That truly was, an amazing thing that we were able to accomplish for this community. So we just want to say thank you to you guys for all the hard work that you put into getting that taken care of for us. That being said, I also want to say that I can't wait to go play on the playground at Cornwall. I want to go play with the musical instruments, or any of the playgrounds for that matter. They all came out stunning. And I was able to see, whether it be via video or just driving past to the home yesterday, I saw the kids on the playground at GW and they looked like they were having a blast. And I did get a chance to speak to a couple of the kids yesterday who told me that they were so excited that the playgrounds were open. So we're very excited to have brand new playgrounds. And while there's nobody here that I could say this to, after 15 years for fighting for this pre-K, I just want to say, they told us we couldn't have it, and now we have it. So congratulations to everyone.
You misspoke. They told you you couldn't have it, and you are too humble to take the credit that you deserve for bringing universal pre-K to West Hempstead. You and your fight for the last 15 years will have a future impact on many, many, many of our youngest learners. You deserve some credit for that. So.
Thank you. Future meeting dates are on the back of the agenda. And we have now reached the period for district residents, Island Park residents, and/or
I
employees.
just wanted to say one other thing.
You watching into my thing. Go ahead, sorry.
I just want to, after 3 years, we had class night back again.
Yes, we did.
We here Friday night, It was just great to see how many students showed up. The school spirit was in full force that night. The kids had an excellent time. The gym was packed. The kids, it was really nice to see everybody back together again.
Thank you. All right, so at this time, we've reached the period for district residents, Island Park residents, and/or employees of the district to address the board. This individual will be limited to 3 minutes of non-confidential agenda items with an overall maximum of 20 minutes for this part of the meeting, again, if needed. So if you're in the audience and you have a question, please raise your virtual hand. And if you are in the audience in front of us, please raise your actual hand, and I will call on you. I will give them a minute. Usually the hands go up much faster, so I'm not going to force anybody to ask questions if they don't have any. If you have a question in regard to the budget or anything else we discussed this evening, you can always email us or you can email Mr. Kress, because if it's about the budget, that's probably where your best answer will come from. I know most people come up with questions after the fact. All right, that being said, I'm going to do a little shameless plug for Miss Nadi and tell everybody that the GW plays tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Frozen, right?
Frozen.
If anybody's interested in attending, I'm also going to do a shameless PTSA plug again and say that there is, following that, I'll be late, Emily. Following the 6 o'clock play at GW is a PTSA meeting right here in this room. So feel free to join us at either or both. And our next Board of Ed meeting will be April 26th, again, in this room. It will be a very brief meeting. We are meeting simply, we have to vote on the Nassau BOCES budget every year, and it just happens to fall on that day where we really don't have a regular business meeting that day. We have to come together to vote on the BOCES board budget and board trustees. So it'll literally be a 10-minute meeting for anybody that's hearing me say we have a meeting. And then again, after that, our next regular meeting will be May 3rd, when we're here for the budget hearing. Usually the library is also here to present their budget. I know Teresa usually reaches out to them to have them come and present their budget. And then on May 17th is the budget vote and the trustee election. That being said, it is now time to ask for a motion to adjourn to go into executive session for advice of counsel and to discuss personnel.
So move.
Second. Pick one of them. All in favor? But Kurt, you didn't say. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a wonderful holiday, whether it's Easter, Passover, or both. And we will see you after the break if we don't see you before.